Welcome back to On the Hill. Some key issues in Montgomery County, like the rest of the DMV, are rising crime and a lack of affordable housing. Just this week, 3 14-year-olds were arrested for an attempted carjacking in broad daylight in downtown Rockville. For more on this, I want to bring in Montgomery County Council member Will Jawando. Thank you for joining us, Will. And
good morning.
Let's begin with crime this morning. Like much of the DMV, all of the regions are recruiting police officers right now, everyone trying to one up the other. What is Montgomery County doing at the moment in terms of recruiting law enforcement?
Well, we recently passed a budget last year that will increase first-time officer pay, which is important. I have a bill, the Community Informed Police Training Act, which will pass here hopefully this month, that will add a week to our training and help our police in things like racial equity and the history of policing and communication skills, things to help build community policing. That's one part of the solution. But the other things we're doing, which are equally as important, if not more, are investing in our community. Civic infrastructure, making places, street lighting, mental health services, wraparound services for our kids. Those 3 young men that you mentioned highlight 2 things. They were 14 years old and they were from Washington, D.C., that this is a regional issue. It's one of the reasons I convened Calvin Hawkins, the Prince George's County Council president, and Robert White, an at-large member of the D.C. Council, to talk about these issues a few months ago because they're connected. But they also need access to summer jobs and other opportunities. The good thing is we're seeing murders are down, homicides are down, which is great for us. But things like carjackings and theft, robberies are up. And you're seeing that across the country and across the region. So we're really doubling down on those investments in the social infrastructure that we saw strained during the pandemic that we're still dealing with.
That's helpful context on crime rates. And turning now to something you are also particularly interested in, affordable housing in Montgomery County. Again, something we're seeing across the region. In Arlington right now, they're battling it out over missing middle housing. But looking at Montgomery County, of course, there were provisions that were in place during the pandemic to keep landlords from raising rent too much. You wanted to extend that. I don't think that worked out particularly well. So what is the county doing? What can the council do right now to maintain affordable housing in the county?
Yes, well, those were my bills to pass and then pass again an extension to pandemic caps on rent increases. They could be increased, but just not past a certain amount. I think we need to extend that. We're still in an emergency renter. It's skyrocketing. I had a resident email me a couple weeks ago in Rockville that their rent was going up nearly 50%. You imagine your rent goes from $1,000 a month to $1,500. Americans can't afford that. Folks can't afford that. So we need to build more housing as well. I have a proposal that would allow us to build more types of housing near Metro, and particularly that missing middle that you talked about. We're going to have that debate this year as well. But we also need to make sure that there are some anti-rent gouging limits. You know, I think everyone would agree that you're just like someone who has a mortgage. You know what your monthly mortgage is going to be every month. People should have consistency. In Montgomery County, a third of our residents rent. That's over 300,000 people. So you have to address that population. I hope we can still come back and do that in the new council coming up in December. But we have to build more housing as well. And I'm going to be making sure we put more money into building affordable housing with our partners as well.
Councilmember, let me ask you, you talk about partnerships there. Of course, there are certain things that the council can do, that the government can do, but is there room here for some public-private partnerships to help build or make or create that affordable housing and work with the community?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have great nonprofit partners. We have for-profit partners. The levers we have in government are to say how high and how big can you build it?
Right.
And do we give you tax incentives? And all those things should be on the table. And we need to work with our development community to make sure that we're building that housing and that we're getting good public benefit. And so absolutely, I'm open to all those things, but it's really going to take an all of the above approach. Too often in housing, you say we're going to do just one thing and just the other thing. We have to do everything because it's a crisis.
Quickly at the end here, we talk about rent going up and that putting a burden on community members, but economy is the #1 issue for voters going into the midterm. What are we looking at in terms of job growth and boosting the economy in Montgomery County?
Sure. Well, our small businesses are key. 90% of our businesses are small in Montgomery County. My parents, both my mother and my stepfather, are small business owners here in the county. They were hit hard during the pandemic. We gave a record amount of relief to help keep those businesses afloat. Now it's about growing making sure our regulatory environment is steady, that they can get through those hoops quickly, and that we can give them money to start a new business and if you have a new idea. And so that's what we're focused on, as well as these housing issues, which are key, because if you're stable in your housing, you can take a risk and start a business or grow it. Right.
Well, Council Member at Large Bill Jawando, thank you so much for joining us this Sunday morning and spending time with us.
Thank you.